Okay. So we are doing Avastatraya inquiry. We finished, completed, not finished. Jagrata Avastha. If you finish it,
last
then
week.
that's a blessing actually. But we are about to enter into Swapna, right? Not literally though, of course. Well, just for analysis, we'll enter. We started Swapna, I think, right?
We think we did this study and did some analysis as well of the Swapnavastha.
Okay.
We understood like it is a corridor for deep sleep, and the impressions left during the waking state. So those are the things that gets carried, and we also heard some of those points that even some vasanas also may get exhausted during dream state, but they may not get any impressions, mainly because there is no will there. So those are the, and then the best way to use dreams probably for a sadhaka would be to ensure his waking state is spent wisely. That way, his dream state would just be a good channel to get into the deep sleep state. So I think the key points that we did last week.
Okay, so should we just finish the reading part and then have maybe Swamiji pitch in, and then we can have more questions, or should we do have any more questions, or should we continue with the dream part? Just finish the reading and then stop there and then discuss. Is it okay? Or?
Yeah.
You want to ask Swamiji to enlighten on the Jagrata? I mean, of course, the dream.
Deep sleep.
Deep sleep is yet to come. Okay.
No, yesterday when I was asking for attendance, he was saying deep sleep state is his favorite topic. So I'm inclined to go towards that one as soon as possible.
Oh, okay. Okay. Let's do the reading then.
Yeah.
This is Swamiji.
So do you want me to read?
Please start with the reading, and then whatever questions, and then we'll continue with that. Because by practice, once I start presenting, you may not get an opportunity for time. So please continue with your original format, that I don't invade into your format.
Okay. Somebody continue with the.
So do you want us to read dream state or deep sleep?
Dream. We haven't finished the dream reading, right? You are very eager to go to deep sleep, I know, but still.
Yeah, it was more of a, by habit, I just got up from there, so I just wanted to go back again. It somehow is a very attractive state. Okay, I'll do the reading. So I'll just do the summary one more time, and then the paragraphs underneath that. For the question, what is the dream state? The explanation is the world that is projected while in sleep from the impressions born of what was seen and heard in the waking state is called the dream state. The self identified with the subtle body is called Taijasa. Seeing is believing. Also, most of our knowledge in the waking world is gathered through hearing. Therefore, the eyes and the ears are the main sources of gaining experiences. Experiences gained through them, the other senses, the mind and the intellect in the waking state form impressions on the mind. The more intense or more repetitive the experience, the deeper are the impressions formed. The mind creates, sustains, and ends the dream world. not only the world, but also the enjoyer of this world. Here, the dreamer is created by the mind. The dreamer can have an entirely different identity from the waker. The intellect has no role to play in the dream state. Also, there is no notion of doership, and hence no merit or demerit is created in the dream. There is only the notion of enjoyership, bhoktrutvam, but again there is no choice about whether to enjoy or to suffer. The dreams are unfulfilled wishes of the waker or the garbled impressions of the waking state that do not require gross manifestation. One may dream of winning a lottery ticket or of a horse flying. The dream may seem strange or the sights illogical or ridiculous to the waker, but the dreamer does not feel so. The self does not identify with the gross body then, but only with the subtle and the causal bodies. The individual is called Taijasa, as the world is thought created. The dream may seem unreal to the waker, but it is very real to the dreamer. There
is a Sanskrit portion there. Did you read that?
Tejomaya antahkaranavritti rupatvat taijasa.
Rupatvat.
Rupatvat taijasa.
So the name given to, earlier we have seen Vishwa is the name given to the consciousness identified with the waking state. Another name for the same consciousness is what? That's what it says, right? Why is it called Taijasa? That's what it says, right? Tejomaya antakrana vrittirupatva Taijasaha.
Okay, that's why it is called. But what does that mean?
Yeah, what does it mean?
Doesn't Sanskrit.
Yeah. Anybody can come in.
Yeah, I think I can guess. Antahkarana vritti, and then it is Tejomayam. It is probably shining. It is shining the Antahkarana rupavat. Rupatvat. And because it is shining that Antahkarana vritti, it is called as Tejas.
Yeah.
Is that a good guess?
Not a guess, it's good enough. Because there needs to be some light, isn't it? Even to illumine the Swapna Prapancham that we have created. That light is Antarjyotihi. Right? Some Jyoti has to be there. Just like there are outside Jyotis now. There is a Jyoti inside, isn't it? And that.
Yeah, but it is the same not only for the dream state, but even for other states as well, right? So, but why are they calling only dream state as Taijasa? But that Tejomayam in the Antahkaranam is not. It is not shining not only in the dream state but in other states as well.
Okay, good question.
But does it say that it is not shining in the other states by mentioning here that it is shining? Does it exclude the other states?
It doesn't mention that, but it says this is this self-identified with the subtle body is called Taijasa, right? So when that self identified with the gross body, that is having a different name, Visva. So when the same consciousness, when it is identified with the subtle body, that's when it is called as Taijasa. So the definition of the that self or the consciousness, it cannot be changed, right? It is only when it is shining through a different medium, that is when the definition is changing. One is called as Vishwa, another one is called as Taijasa. But the definition of Taijasa again is pointing back to Tejomaya Antakarnavarti Rupatvat.
But here is the Tatparya Nirnaya, the nailing down of the meaning. Is it focusing on Taijasa or is it focusing on the experience of the mind? Antakarana vritti rupatvat is what is the focus. But your question is on the Tejomaya. Tejomaya is not excluding other states. Here the focus is the Antakarana vritti.
Okay.
I have a question on the last sentence.
Okay.
It says the dream may seem unreal to the waker, but it seems very real to the dreamer. So there is a waker and there is a dreamer. Is it two different things? I thought the source is the same. The source of the wake state or the dream state is same. So that sentence is a little confusing.
Okay. Which part is confusing? You are the waker, right? Waker in the sense?
I know. So where I'm coming from is, although the awake state and the dream state look different, they seem to be different, but I thought the source was the same. So here it says waker and dreamer. That means they're two different things.
Shashank, you are married, right?
Yes, sir.
When you are with your wife, what do you become?
I'm the husband.
When you turn around, how many children do you have?
One.
So when you turn to your child, what do you become?
Father.
So what has changed when you are facing your wife versus facing your child?
The role has changed.
Similarly, you are the same. But as soon as you shift from this side to that side, your role gets defined differently. So what is being talked about as a waker and dreamer is what is the identification of that individuality.
But Swami, I agree to that point, but
has the source changed in both places when you are a husband or a father? The source has not changed. Why should there be a confusion of the source? Because they're not talking about the source being changing. It is the identifying entity which is changing its identity in the waking world, where the mind is functioning through the organs of perception action to receive data from the outside world and to function there. That functionality is stopped, that functionality is not there, but there is only Antakarana vritti which is being illumined. Identified with that Antakarana vritti, whatever is created, that individuality, that jivatva, whatever it is weaving. So the focus is on the identification, not on the source. When I was in school, there was one question in English and Hindi question papers. it was called RTC, reference to context. What is being referred to here? Is it the source or is it the identified entity?
Yeah, I got it. Thank you.
But the point what you raise is valid. What is being also proven is that the source remains constant. That is the second part of discussion.
Yeah, source is same. Yes, the Sakshi Avastatraya Sakshi we have seen earlier, even before we started, right? Avastatraya Sakshi, the non-variable factor is same in all these three states. That is the source. Yes.
Yeah, I want to extend this question, Swamiji. Like, it is said that the dream and there is no difference between the dream state and the awake state.
Who said it?
And I mean, I read it in Yoga Vasishta. It actually concludes saying that there is no difference between the awake state and the dream state.
From what standpoint?
From a consciousness standpoint.
From consciousness standpoint, I can even draw to the conclusion that there is no world.
Yes.
Neither wake, nor dream, nor deep sleep, nor you, me, nothing is there from the absolute conscious standpoint. When nothing is there, what is there to draw commonality about? And that can be an extreme conclusion that can be drawn. But in Yoga Vasishta, when it is mentioned that the waking and the dream appear to be, the key word is appear to be similar, from what standpoint? That both of them are perceived through functional mind. One aspect is functioning through the outside world of interaction. There is a stimulus outside, and through the organs, I am interacting with it. That is called waking world. But whereas in the dream world, it is a interwoven, interprojected, internal projected world. There is no external stimulus there. So that would be the difference. But when you look at the functionality of the mind as such, yeah, both of these phases are that phase wherein the mind functions. So there is a commonality between both waking and dream. But how do I distinguish whether I'm dreaming or waking? Have you seen Inception?
Yeah.
So we don't have a little thing rolling around to say if it falls, then it is waking. If it doesn't fall and keeps continuing to say that it is, what do they call it? That spinning device. There's a name for such. Each one has a separate one.
Yeah.
I forgot. Yeah.
Totem. A totem.
Totem.
So we don't have a totem to realize whether this is a waking or a dream. But there is a better way to understand is it internally woven or is it with an external stimulus?
But Swamiji,
Now, what is it that you want to achieve with that conclusion? Saying
Oh,
that dream and waking are same.
No, my argument is they are not same. Because in awake state, there is a feature of continuity. Whereas in dream state, there is no continuity. One dream is different from the other.
Seriously? Do you think that waking you have a continuity?
At least
You will die after some time.
At least physically it appears. I mean, like I wake up the next day, it's still the same.
Is it?
I mean, physical objects are the same.
Are you the same?
I am the same. I am same. Yeah. Physically, psychologically, I might have changed.
If you are the same, there should be a continuity. Where was this waker called Shashank in the dream state? When you are dreaming, are you Shashank? I have
can
dreamt
be.
myself as a monkey.
Yeah. So there is a possibility that
Can be is only one of the options. But
Yeah.
is it a continuous experience that there is a Shashank in the dream?
No.
So what happened to that Shashank then? If there is no continuity of Shashank even in dream, in deep sleep there is no Shashank, period.
Yeah.
Okay. Then what are you talking of continuity? You cannot change the reference of continuity from the standpoint of the external object. You are talking about the experiencer. Without the experiencer, there is no continuity that you can claim from an external reference. You can talk of permanency only from the experiencer standpoint. That experiencer itself is gone in the dream world. शशांक का जो अस्तित्व है वह स्वप्नावस्था में नहीं है.
But how do we extend that one even to the waking state as well? Same principle. I think that's what Shashank was asking, that I am continuous in the waking state, but my dream state is ending. So when he wakes up, because the dream is dissolved, Shashank says
Your
like, no,
question
this
should
is
be-
not continuous.
Your question should be, I will form the question for you and tell me if I am somewhere in the ballpark. What I dream, what you dream, what anybody dreams is not the same. Thankfully, at least that we are genuinely, distinguishingly different in our dreams. It will be a freak show if you, I, everyone has the same kind of dream. I would say there's a glitch in the matrix. Now, when you look at the waking world, in the waking world, the seeming continuity that he is talking of everything is not because of your influence, because it is a projection not of you but of the Ishvara. Therefore, that Ishvaratva, what it is projecting as this Vishwa or Prapancha, it will continue. Therefore, you see the continuity. Therefore, you, I, everyone see the continuity seemingly, because it is not our projection. Our projection is only in the dream. So your question should have been, why do I see this continuity in the waking world, whereas I don't see the continuity in the dream world? Because the one who is projecting the waking world and the one who is projecting the dream world are two different entities. One is individuality, the other is totality. I am an aspect of that totality. Therefore, there seems to be a continuity in the waking world. In Vedanta Panchadashi, that is referred to, he refers with a specific word, he calls it as Isha Srishti and Jiva Srishti. Because even in that waking world, on the basis of the projected reality of this prapancha, I create a web of my own creation. ये मेरा है, this is mine. This vastu, vyakti, paristhiti, nama, rupa, this is mine. That is not mine. Therefore, what is our constant effort in this capitalistic world? We divide it into two parts, that which is mine and that which is yet to be mine. So that is the Jiva Srishti. But Isha Srishti is that commonality thread which continues the waking world, which seemingly continues the waking world. Because it is not your and my projection, it is his projection through his Maya Shakti. But whereas the dream world is this mind's projection. Albeit it is illumined by that Jyoti Swarupa, Tejomaya Swarupa. That is the whole point of Tattvamasi, right? What are they trying to prove with this? Whatever we are discussing here in this particular Avasthatraya Sakshi or all of these Panchakosha Viveka is that this Tvampada, the Jiva, is something distinctly separate from all these layers. It's not only distinct from all these layers, but the substratum of this Jivatva is an immutable, indestructible, ever existing Advaya Vastu. Ishwaratva also, it is the same Advaya Vastu, therefore Aham Brahmasmi makes sense. The waking world is a projection of that Ishwaratva, that totality. Dream world is a projection of this individual mind, but that projection also is possible only because there is an illumination. And this illumination is a borrowed illumination. Okay, let me ask you a question. Anybody can answer. Who is this individual? How would you define individuality? This Jiva. That which is identifying with the waking, that which is identifying with the dream, that which is completely withdrawn from any identification in the deep sleep. How do you define this individuality? Anybody?
It's as a dual and experience. I mean, Katrutva and Bhokrutva Bhava, that which this individual will be having, will define in that avastha. So in case of Shashank's question, Swamiji, I think the waking state is the superset of this experiencer and the doer, which consists of all the three bodies. And of course, I think all the three bodies are in function at that time. And of course, definitely that the Antakarana Vritti, which is the Tejomaya, is present there also. But here it is predominantly the experiencer, and the experience it is also, as exactly wonderfully you said, that Jiva Srushti is that mind, the waking mind, which has been projecting this swapna, has been creating the world as well as the experiencer also. And that might be the difference, that where it has been called as Tejomaya, Antakarana Vritti, that has been creating the experiential world in the swapna, as well as the experiencer, who is the Bhoktrutva Bhava, that is present in that individuality there, as the enjoyer of the swapna. Sorry if I deviated from your question.
No, you started with the answer and you answered it and then extended it. So I was fine with it. You're not wrong. You're absolutely dot on. You're not wrong. But just like, how Maya gets defined depending on the different definitions of Maya. Trigunatmika, or you can say Ichha Shakti, Jnana Shakti, Kriya Shakti. So there are different definitions depending on where what has to be interpreted. Similarly, Jiva, if you look at the make of this Jiva, or the individuality, a very simple way of putting it, as you have put, the doership and enjoyership. If you look at the validity of that doership and the enjoyership as well, then the further nuance that can be looked into is it is referred to as reflected consciousness. Chidabhasa Chaitanya. Chit Abhasa. Abhasa is reflection. Reflection of that conscious principle. What is conscious principle? That which is all pervading, ever existing. As soon as there is an intellect, the subtlest part of our antakarana, which unfolds, as soon as it unfolds, there is a reflection of the conscious principle on that layer called intellect. Why does it reflect? Sahajatvat. Sahaja meaning it is but natural that it will reflect. Now, if you look at my face, there will be one particular spot where there is a bright light reflecting. Do you see it?
Yeah.
Right there. Why is it reflecting? Battatalatvat. There is a baldness and it will reflect there. The surface, if it is shining, it will reflect. Similarly, the intellect is the subtlest layer, the most polished layer, and that is where it first reflects. As soon as it reflects, there is the source and there is a reflection. As soon as it reflects, the reflected consciousness also has a similar quality, similar, not same, similar quality as the source. Just like the sun's rays have heat and light as its nature, that it hits the mirror and the reflected aspect also has heat and light. Solar cookers and other things are designed on that very basis. So the heat and light is transmitted even through the reflection. Similarly, the reflected consciousness has this aspect called enlivening, empowering aspect. So the intellect borrows that from the reflected aspect. As though by induction, this intellect, like you have these copper base tawa. So first the heat goes, induces through the copper, then the aluminum, then the Teflon, and then your toast or bread or dosa on the top. So one after the other, it layers up, the heat gets transmitted. Something similar, just for our visualization. So the intellect borrows this enlivening principle, and through that the mind gets borrowing it. Then from the mind, the organs of perception and action. I have not yet defined what is individuality. I had to go through the entire gamut of it. So now what is individuality? All these layers, starting from the organs of perception, action, mind, intellect, the enlivened aspect, the identity that is created in presence of the consciousness, Shuddha Chaitanyam. This reflected consciousness identified with the conglomerate of this body, mind and intellect in presence of that Shuddha Chaitanyam. Why is that in presence of Shuddha Chaitanyam always required? Because without which there is no reflection. It will be again a freak show that supposing you stand in front of a mirror, what do you see?
Reflection.
Our reflection. Simple. Can there be my reflection without me being in front of the mirror? डर जाओगे? Early morning when you wake up and groggy, you go into the bathroom and you have your beloved's reflection there, but the beloved is not there. What will happen? All your grogginess will be gone in a second. No coffee required. Nice jump start. If there is a reflection, it only says that it can happen when there is source. So what is Jivatva? Jivatva is, or the individuality is, that Shuddha Chaitanya in its presence, this reflected consciousness identifying with this conglomerate of body, mind and intellect, the entire package is called Jivatva. Now when we are talking about Avasthatraya, this Jivatva is functioning in different phases. When it is functioning with its organs of perception action to receive and function through that data received and data processed, that is called waking world. In connection with that Vishwa, therefore it is called Vishwa. That identified entity, individuality is called Vishwa. In fact, you can introduce yourself. I can introduce myself to anybody. Who are you? Vishwa, aka Sarvesha, also known as Sarvesha. So that waker is called Vishwa. The same fellow is now identified with the mind and the projections of the mind. There is no external stimulus here. There is no data input output happening through the organs of perception action. If you were to connect the connectors to read, how much of data is going in and how much of data is going out through the organs of perception action? Zilch. There is no movement there. Internally, there is a movement. Internally, there is a projection. And that Tejomaya Rupa, you cannot avoid it. Why? Without which there is no reflection. That identified entity's existence depends on that source. But now where it has gotten identified is only with the mind and its projected reality, which is called dream. If the individuality's definition is taken as a separate substance other than that source, is when all these questions come into picture as to why the source is being repeated here, why the source is not repeated there, is the source common? बाबा सोर्स के तो तुम्हारी वास्तविक सत्ता शून्य है. The jivas. That question will not arise if there is the definition of the individuality is rightly understood. Was I able to communicate? Was it clear? Any questions? Now you can jump in with your questions. I have created my layer of confusion. Please.
So you remember last time also you have seen the I, the Jiva, the individual has three components, right? So same thing. Swami has nicely summarized that. Right? The Chit, the reflection itself, and then your Sukshma Shariram, which is reflecting. So only unless this 1 + 2 + 3 equal to the Jivatma, which has nicely been summarized. So that is Tejomaya. Because for mental objects, there need not be a, it need not carry Chidabhasa separately, right? In waking state, since the gross objects needs separate Chidabhasa as though a reflection. But in the mental objects in the dream, it need not carry Chidabhasa because it is there with it. That's why Tejomaya, self-illumined in fact, right? I don't know if I confused more, but okay. Any more questions?
Swamiji, in dream state, all the three bodies, like Kishore Bhaiya was saying, all the three bodies are present. Stula, Sukshma and Karana. Sukshma and Karana I can understand, but Stula, how we don't identify with the body. I mean, it's only the mind projection, what we see in the dream. I can be myself, or I can be an animal, or I can be anything fancy. So, gross body, is it there in the dream state, or how do we understand this? That's my question.
Swamiji, you're on mute, Swamiji. Swamiji on mute.
No, I was not mute. The system was on mute.
I mean, sorry.
Kishore, I think this question is directed to you because you started that. So I will shift that question to you. So please go ahead, answer. Then I will pitch in after you answer.
Sure, Swamiji, thank you. So as we, the very, Swamiji quoted the Panchadashi before. In Panchadashi, Swami Vidyaranya very clearly indicates in the first chapter itself, this Viveka, the consciousness as the samvit, he calls it as the samvit, that is the experience of the individuality, and the one which is enlivening the individuality. We as individuals have this experiences, I mean, at all these three body levels or all these three avastha levels, that we are aware. He brings it very nicely. I mean, just want to give that context a little bit, that getting into three avasthas. So,
but I hope you are leading to the answer to that question. Is Stula Shariram there in?
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say.
Okay.
So, the question is that one, that he brings that prakriyas also, the very anvaya vyatireka and all that stuff. So we as an experiencer in the waking state enjoy the world of experiences and all. And Shashank's question is linked all through, because his question is that the waker is dreaming. The waking mind is the source of dreaming also, because the impressions of the waking mind alone have been projected in the dream state. And once you wake up only, you are aware that the dream is a dream. Otherwise, in the dream, you feel it is very real. It seems to be very real. Appearance, sakale satyavat bhati. At that time, contextual reality, as Swamiji told in the beginning, that the context-wise, at that particular time, it looks that it is very real. Okay.
Right.
So what we need to get to it is that yukti and our experience, anubhava, and of course Shruti is what Swamiji has been indicating, and Swami Vidyaranya has indicated in that Panchadashi also. So Shruti, Yukti, Anubhava, these are the three things that are triggering us into this inquiry. So we need to take all the three. But what we do is, normally we will go with our own experience. That is, as an experiencer, we will be going through these three states. There is no other Shruti is required for this Anubhava part of it. We go through all these three states every day. Anybody not going through these three states, please? I think somebody told, Rajniji told that she doesn't have the dreams or something like that. Okay,
yeah, so now come yeah, Rajni said she doesn't have dreams. Fine.
We'll get back to that one.
Stula Shariram is there or not?
Right.
That was
So coming back to the question that Aparna has asked, is that one, that in the dream, whether Stula Sharira is there or not. We know about the dream also after waking up. In the Stula Sharira, Abhimani, who is the one, the waker, knows about the dream, that I had a dream. Otherwise, the Taijasa, in the part of the Taijasas, this one, exactly as here Guruji has described in the wording also, that there is no intellect there, there is no the very thinker there, that hey, I am having this dream and all that stuff. His only choice is to go through the experiences. So it is going through that experience in the what part? Only in Antakarana part. The projection of the world is also Antakarana, and the experiencer is also part of that Antakarana. That's why it is Taijasa. So that's why it has been indicated as it is got no relation with the Sthula Sharira as an experiencer. That's why Swamiji clearly indicated that there is no input that is coming from this body. All the sense organs have been quietened, and all the organs of action have been quietened. Of course, prana is there. We all know that we are alive, that Sthula Sharira is there. But when we wake up again, we know that one, yes, the Sthula Sharira was there. That's what Shashank's question, that continuity part of it. But that continuation, Swamiji has taken us to the peak in the beginning itself. That continuation is also like the dream. I'll stop there. The
Aparna,
answer, I hope that you got it, but if you haven't, please tell that Swamiji will get it.
Throw the ball in Swamiji's court now. Yeah.
Aparna, was it answered?
Sorry, Swamiji. No, I'm not a dancer.
If you look at the definition of Sthula Sharira and Sukshma Sharira as given in Tattva Bodha itself, just a couple of chapters ago, Sthula Sharira is called Sukha Dukkhadi Bhoga Ayatanam, whereas Sukshma Sharira should have been defined there as, I'm just running off memory here, so Sukha Dukkhadi Bhoga Sadhanam. One is Ayatanam, the other is Sadhanam. Is the body there? Yes, because this Antakarana is housed in it. Otherwise, we will be having Pretanubhava. This is not a Pretanubhava, this is the Anubhava of the Jiva, which is housed in that Sthula Sharira. Like when you are sitting in your room, in your parking lot, is there a vehicle? You can sleep well only when you know it is securely there. That when you wake up, it is not gone. Ayyo, poyinde. That should not be the situation. Otherwise, you will not be sleeping. So where is this housed? In that Sthula Sharira. But that should not imply that there is an input-output that is happening through that Sthula Sharira. The organs of perception action are non-functional. Does that answer clearly with a yes or no distinction?
Yes, Swamiji.
So to summarize that, yes, there is Sthula Sharira, but also, no, there is no Sthula Sharira there. It is kind of that kind of an answer, right? So
No,
it is
there
about
is
the
no
standpoint.
input-output. Let us be clear. Let us not
Right.
go into the web of words and weave ourselves into confusion. There is no input-output.
Output probably
full
would be there, right, Swamiji? Because when I'm having dream of a tiger chasing me, it is at the Sthula Sharira level, it is having the reflection as a perspiration happening.
That is involuntary. You are not sitting there as a doership doing it.
Okay.
I mean, you must have had, time where your children, when they were young, they were sleeping. You were all sleeping on the same bed, and they will be kicking at the night.
Yeah.
There is no doership there. They're just rotating. They're just doing. There is
Yeah,
no.
I still do that. Yeah. So there's no doership. So it is only the doership which is not there, but so okay, but that's what I was saying. Isn't there an output, but at the same time there is no doership there?
That output is also not an output.
Okay.
There's nothing credible that is being achieved or gained or accomplished.
Okay.
Swamiji, I have one doubt. While in sleep, from the impressions born of what was seen, so this impression basically means vasanas?
Yes, Amma.
So, do we exhaust vasanas in dream state?
Exhaustion can happen only when there is a doership which takes the sankalpa of exhausting it. There is no doer there. So where is the sankalpa of doership?
But
I
you're
had
looking up some impressions.
So there is no gain or loss of anything. There's only projection of it. If there is
Okay.
exhaustion of vasanas, then I might as well dream $1 million every night and then wake up, encash it, and use it.
Okay.
Swamiji, Rajni, you have more?
Yeah.
If you have a question, I'll ask after you're done.
No, I finished. I've done.
Okay.
I'm done.
Yeah, extending what Rajni just said, I read Gurudev saying dreams as mental excretions that kind of clear up the crap that we have collected over time and then let us start afresh. Okay. Why is it not a mechanism for exhaustion? I mean, biological mechanism already available to me as an individual. Instead of this kind of hair splitting, I'm just curious. What's your take on it?
Which part is hair splitting and which part is the confusion? And
Well,
when you were
I'm not confused at all. I am just saying that it's a very nicely built-in mechanism available to human beings to clear up what we have built up. You know, when people dream, I think their suppressed and repressed deep desires sometimes express themselves through the dream, so that there is a less of a burden on the mind in your waking state.
psychologically, what you're saying is true that the pressure is released,
Yeah.
but the impression is not wiped out. Her question specifically was, is the impression wiped out? What you
No,
are focusing is on the pressure aspect. Yes, the pressure may be released. But is the impression which causes the pressure, is that removed? No, that is not removed. For which you have to will to remove it.
okay. Yeah. I think release of that pressure on the mind is a step in the right direction towards purification. Purification, by extension, is negation of vasanas potentially. That's my basic understanding. But
And to clarify that,
yeah,
even in the very initial stage, we make it very clear that dukkha nivritti is not sukha prapti. One gives relief, one establishes you in that very experience. So similarly, extending that here, release of the pressure is not removal of the impression. For removal of that impression, one needs to do the act of sankalpa of removing it as such. Otherwise, what will happen? It will be as illogical that what I do in my dream world, waking world, in my dream world, it gets cleaned up. It's like some automated process that you are envisioning, that I put the dishwasher at night, and by the time I wake up, it is cleaned, dried, and processed, and I have clean utensils. That is
not necessarily. I'm just saying, if, if, even if it's a minuscule percentage of cleanup, it's a valuable mechanism. I'm not saying that it's binary like you're saying. I put it up, it cleans up in the morning, so I let it run. No, that's not what I'm saying.
see, the pressure being released is the effect being released. The cause of it, which is the impression, that has to be worked at.
Fair enough.
That's all I'm saying.
Thank you.
Yeah. That maybe I must have quoted something last time. Shastra also talks of the dreams also serve as an exception, maybe rare exception for gnanis who had some desire, but then they can't really fulfill it through karma. So I heard some, so maybe I might have quoted that. So that gave rise to the question. So dreams also serve as a method of exhausting certain vasanas as an exception, but exception is exception. Don't make it a rule. Okay, let's move on. Anybody else? Anything? Should we move on?
I'll just ask one question. Is it a false statement, Swamiji, that the body is also a projection of the mind?
Reference to context again. Give me a reference. Give me a context.
I'm just extending Aparna's question. When you are in a dream state, you said that it's within the framework of the physical gross body. But again, if the statement that body is also a projection of the mind true, then during dream state, the gross does not exist. It's just a dream.
It is a tricky question.
Excuse me, I had a question, some relating to something like what
Tushant.
yeah, he was saying.
Okay, we can club the
Sometimes
question.
the child, when the child sleeps, he has this kind of, he starts perspiring, maybe because of a bad dream or something. So that time, what he's thinking, what he's dreaming is reflecting on the Sthula Sharira, the perspiration. So,
Okay.
or he starts screaming or something like that. So it is an output or so that is what it is, reflecting on the Sthula Sharira. So I was also having that.
Over to Swamiji. Yeah.
First, let me answer Rajniji's question.
Shobha.
Whoever, one of them. When we say output, we are very clear as to what the output are. We cannot suddenly redefine the output devices. We have already seen that there are 5 output devices. And that is when the output is called output. What are those 5 devices? Pancha Karmendriya. And suddenly now including something else as the output is not considered as an output. Those 5 are called the output. So therefore, Adi Shankaracharya ji went into the anatomical description of each one of them and what they do, so that there is no further confusion of these kinds.
Okay, yeah. Perception and
yeah, he defines it. Pancha Karmendriyani, Pancha Jnanendriyani. Period. So those are the input, those are the output. And suddenly you change the framework and reference to context and say this is also an output. Just because there is some secretion, involuntary secretion, it is not considered as an output. Now going back to Shashank's question.
No, the screaming and like he's having some kind of reaction in his body. That is what I meant.
Even that screaming, as I answered Indivarji's earlier objection that he had raised, that there is no kartrutva in that position.
Oh.
Okay. Going back to Shashank's question, though the mind is housed in the body, in the dream world, it has adopted to a dream body. The funny aspect here is every aspect of that dream is me alone, my mind alone. But even in that which is projected by the mind, there is one specific character, one specific namuna which I choose to become. The tiger chasing you is also your mind. You being chased is also your own mind. But you are identifying more with the you being chased rather than you, the chaser, the tiger. So you reach to the cliff, either be eaten by the tiger or jump off the cliff. So you, because of the Yuva Kendra Samskara, you started chanting, Trambakam Yajamahe. And the tiger is also born from your own mind, your own mind's projection. So the samskara is the same. So the tiger also takes some water in its palm and starts chanting Brahmarpanam Brahmavihi. But who are you identified as? You are identified as that individual who is scared of the tiger and not identified as the tiger. So the point that I'm trying to strike here is that in the dream, I, as a dreamer, adopt to that projected reality an aspect of it as me. Though in fact, everything that is there is nothing but my own mind. But in that, I choose a certain aspect of it to be my expression. So there is that identification of that subtle body expressing as my expression in that dream world. So is that subtle body a projection of your mind? Yes, definitely. The entire dream world is a projection in that you choose to act out as one particular aspect. That also is your mind only. This body, the physical body, the sthula sharira, which we experience through in the waking world, is not this mind's projection. It is Ishvara's projection. The totality's projection.
Why can't we extend the same logic of the dream to the waking world, right? Like many times I wonder if somebody tells me it's green or yellow or red or some color, I perceive it as something, right? How can I be very sure that the next guy or next lady is seeing the same color pattern, right? I can't. I mean, of course, there is some commonality by which we are all recognizing the same color, but I don't know that. So sometimes I wonder, is this all my projection, talking to you, all of you, and going to work and having a wife and kid and all that? But I cannot, not somebody else's, but again, it can be extended as who are you and you are nothing but that. But regardless of that, right? I mean, because I see a lot of good and bad and evil and all that stuff. So if the dream, if I'm capable of creating a world in the dream, when I'm awake, why I should be, I mean, why is this Ishvara's projection? It's my projection, potentially, right? I mean, but then
you are not wrong.
Yeah.
No, you are not wrong, and you are not to the point either. I'll tell you why you are not wrong. What am I holding in my hand? If you can see it clearly.
Yeah, a pen.
Oh, you call it a pen? I would call it whatever I feel like calling it, right? There is the Vastu. The Vastu, its Nama, Rupa, and utility, and the identity with it, as you have said, is my projection. Okay. But the Vastu Padartha as such is not an aspect of your projection.
In the dream, the lion is a Vastu of my projection. If I have a pen in the dream, that is an object of my projection. Why is this not an object of my projection?
You tell me, why is it a part of your projection?
I don't know. I'm asking.
If it is a part of your projection, then you should have the independence from that vastu padartha.
Okay.
As this limited entity, we don't have that independence. As much as I have the independence from my swapnavastha, when I wake up.
But realization is waking up from this state of consciousness, right?
But
At least in theory.
No. You are changing the standpoint from jivatva, jivadrishti, to the realized one where there is no jivatva. See, the confusion occurs when I quickly transition these standpoints and then compare the different standpoints equation into one sentence. In Vedanta Vichara, the reference to context is always important. A very simple example that I will throw out there. Just before the Mahabharata war started, to show respect, Yudhishthira shoots 3 arrows which land right in front of Bhishma, Drona, Kripacharya, right in front of their chariot. That is the tradition, that if you respect somebody on the opposite side, you shoot that arrow in offering your salutations and prostrations. So Bhishma, as the commander-in-chief, asks a clarification. Is that salutations of yours to the commander-in-chief or to your grandfather? Depending on what you are referring that salutations to, my response will be articulated. Then Yudhishthira says, of course it is to my grandfather. That answer what Bhishma gives, no wonder irritates Duryodhana later, wherein he says, he could have said, Jiveda Sharada Shatam, Sukhi Bhava, Punyavan Bhava, whatever. But he says, Vijayi Bhava. Because as a grandfather, I would not give you blessings anything less than Vijaya. So the reference to context has to be constantly understood, and that framework has to be clear. When we are talking of this Jagat, we are not talking of a realized situation. It is from the drishti of the Jiva. That Jiva who is an aspect of the totality. Now, who is projecting this whole totality is not the Jiva. Is it a projection? Yes, it is a projection. Then the reference has to be understood clearly. At the end of the day, both the totality and the individuality, whatever we are projecting, the projection is possible only because the substratum is that Shuddha Chaitanya. And because I am already that Shuddha Chaitanya, understanding it and abiding in it is what is called realization. And at that point, there is no further transition of the individuality become the totality and then transitioning into the realization, but it is knowing is being. So at each stage, the reference is very important. You quickly transition the references and conclude the equations and put them together as a sentence, but it will cause a lot of chaos in understanding. hope I was able to give the reference clearly.
Yeah, I have to think about what you said. So I need time to process.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why we're doing Shravanam, Maranam, Nididhyasana. We need, yes, to process it. Yes.
Thank you so much.
Welcome.
So,
So Shobhaji's question has been answered, Shobhaji?
Yes.
Okay, I just want to add on a little this one there. I think there was a question about exhausting vasanas during the dream. Even in the dream, there is a small kartrutva bhava is there. It is not that completely is not there. As we think, I mean to say, as we see that one, that the very dreamer has a kartrutva bhava. The dreamer, who is identified as the individual in that whole projection, has a kartrutva bhava, and he started doing, experiencing that dream. Like there is a tiger, of course, it is the same projection of the mind, and the individual that who is Kishore in that dream is also the same, and that one has the kartrutva bhava. When that one is identical to what we live. So this is what Swami Vivekananda says when he was talking about dream about it and completely make that dream as a realization or a reality. When we dream about it so thoroughly, it will become a reality, means that the very individual that who is living with this body is the same one when it has been. That means the vasanas which have been projecting the dream are identical to that individuality with the body also. That means it is like Arjavatvam. As we get that one, the kind of dreams will be that one that which becomes the same sankalpa with the body or without, in that dream projection also the similar thing. That's what I feel through, I mean to say, the experiencer and this one. And I want to say that one, that the reality is that one, because so many Mahatmas talks about it. The dream state. Reflection of the dream state will be a wonderful way to really understand the waking state in more thoroughly. And there is a wonderful episode in the Yoga Vasishta about Janaka Maharaja. He gets a dream one day that he was a beggar in the streets and he could not get anything to eat for 3 days. And then somebody gives him bread or something to eat. And then he was about to eat it and some dog or something comes and takes it away. And he is totally frustrated and collapses and wakes up in his Hamsatulika Talpa in his palace. And then the very next day he asks that one, that which is the reality? Like Manoj asked it clearly, which is the reality? The one that who is sleeping on this in the palace on the Hamsatulika Talpa, or the beggar Janaka who has been really frustrated not getting anything? What is the reality? He asks many people in the court. Nobody answers that one clearly. Ashtavakra again, who is the guru of Janaka, he seems that you are neither. Of course, Janaka understood that one, but that's what is the reference which Swamiji has been indicating, that samvit, that consciousness is the reference. In between, shifting between these two things which Janaka had, am I the sleeper or the dreamer? Janaka is real, or the one, the king Janaka is real? Which is the one real is the question that he is bringing the sentence together. Ashtavakra says you are neither.
Right. Good. That story, yeah, it's nice story. So yeah, so lessons, we can take many lessons from the dream state, as you said. Yes, dream proves not only that I am different from the body, this costume, but different from the mind also, right? Because inner world is experienced as an object. I am seeing the thoughts. I am not those. Yes. So many lessons we can learn. It's 10:28. It's time few just. But we can take.
No.
We have another session at 10:30. In the Vedic chanting.
Any 5 minutes. I thought that.
Yeah. We will
I almost
continue for
understood.
another 10 more, 15 more minutes we can take, because the next session we can start late. So that's what I said. This is what I
Okay.
want to say. 15
Okay.
minutes we can take. Go ahead.
I like before Kishore explained about the point. I thought that I understood a little bit about the dream state. Now I'm again confused. So what is the dream state that he's talking about here? When you dream it and then you achieve it. I know there are motivational speakers also who keep saying that you start visualizing, dreaming about it, and then you'll be able to achieve that one. My understanding all this time was that dream is different than the dreams that I'm getting when I'm sleeping, right? I thought that these two are completely different. So this is more of a daydreaming, imagining kind of thing, rather than the tiger chasing dreams that I get, right? I thought that those two are different. Are they same?
Again,
Okay.
Swamiji will say the reference to context. Okay.
I'm sorry if I confused you in the word. I think the intention is this one. There is a Vyavaharika Satya, Pratibhasika Satya, and Paramarthika Satya. So we will be shifting in these three states of the Satya, or I mean to say the consciousness. The very Paramarthika Satya is the Jivan Mukta, as Swamiji has described that, the very conscious state. And with the Chidabhasa, with the body, mind, and intellect, as we go through the world and experience day-to-day things, is the Vyavaharika Satya. All these three are Sakale Satyavad Bhati, as Swamiji told, that reference to context. Okay, and we need to be very cautious when we were talking about which state and which state. But we are talking about the transientness between these states. What we are talking about is, if we are clear that these two are totally isolated, or is there any transience between that? Is there anything that can move from this state to this state or not? Am I clear? I think if I'm not clear, I stop here.
I understood this point that you are trying to move from one state to another state, particularly from dream state, you wanted to move something to gross state. But
No. I don't want to move anywhere. The thing is that we are always moving. This is happening naturally every day. All these three avasthas, isn't it? We are going through that. We are experiencing these things. And what we are seeing is what we can learn in the waking state right now by going through these experiences of the three states and beyond, if there is anything. That's what is the vichara we are doing as a study group here, in my view. I'll stop there. Swamiji is here, so I think I don't want to take more time.
One thing that I would add is the word dream has Vachyartha and Lakshartha. When we are using it here, we are using it as avastha, as a phase of experience of that jiva identified. And when Swami Vivekananda or MLK talk about I have a dream, that is not talking about this dreaming state. I just wanted to highlight that. There are two different references of the same word, two different applications of the same word. And I know this is not an English class or a vocabulary class, but words are all I have to communicate. So I have to be clear as to what is the Vakyartha Nirnaya. Whatever I'm saying, what am I referring to should be very clear. Now, talking about the dream exhaustion, if that is a possibility, which Shastra very clearly is saying that there is no such thing that can happen. and our pramana is not aptavakya. Our pramana is shastra pramana. In Tarka Shastra or in the Vaisheshika, they talk about pramana as the aptavakya, but in Vedanta Uttara Mimamsa, which is what we are discussing, the pramana is shastra. Again, for reference, pramana is not proof of evidence. Pramana is pramakaranam, which means the right means of knowledge. So whatever is the shastra pramana is what is taken as the pradhana tatparya, and whatever is the apta vakya, if it is not in alignment with the shastra vakya, then we don't question it, dur se namaskar, and we move on. Apta vakya cannot overrule shastra pramana. Therefore, when many in Yuva Kendra or many mission actors, they say, but Gurudev said so. I said, don't belittle Gurudev by constantly referring, inconsequentially, but refer to it in sequence with Shastra Pramana. Shastra, where it is clearly saying that, Bhaiya, your Swapna Avastha, very clearly he says here, is something which is a projection of the mind and it has no consequence in the Jagrad Avastha, and there is no Kartrutva or Bhoktrutva there. And to say that there may be a slight Kartrutva is now something that has to be evaluated. Which Shastra, where is it highlighted? Does it talk about that particular aspect? So that we can continue in our next session and start with that Shastra Pramana. And because otherwise there will be too many confusing standpoints that we can draw in.
Very true, Swamiji. I think, as you wonderfully said, that Shastra is the Pramana, there is no doubt about that one. And Shruti, Yukti, Anubhava is the thread of the Vichara. So we are not, I mean to say, we are not just going, especially I think that's where Samvada has come into picture in our Shastras. Shastra itself is the Samvada, as Guru Sishya Samvadas and all. So it is like not blindly believing something. Shastra also. Shastra asks that, ask me question and go through this Vichara through your Anubhava. That is the only way that you can arrive at.
True, true.
Definitely we need to continue that one, because get your experiences through these transient states and get your intellect totally get together through the Yukti, and we will align with the Shastra and discuss about that to arrive at.
I think it'll be interesting to continue this conversation more, because I have questions, a lot of questions, as to which Shastra are you going to choose, why, and when you're coming to the basic question of what you're choosing as your pramana, right? Then of course there are a lot of thought processes that go into that selection. Is where you were born and who you contacted and how you got into this and why not something else. And so anyway, I think we are running short of time, but it would be good to continue this conversation. That would be my request at maybe next week or week after, whenever Swamiji has more time.
Swamiji has, of course, just now said we'll continue. So it means Swamiji will join next week.
I have not promised that. Tatparya Nirnaya is very clear that for this week I said I will join. I have not promised anything further, but I will try to take time and join whenever possible. One last statement is when you all should have started with this beginning of Tattva Bodha, and even during the initial stage of Shraddha, where there is a clear definition that Adi Shankaracharya ji defines. He says, Shastrasya Guru Vakyasya Satya Buddhyavadharana Shraddha iti.
Yeah.
There, Shastra is referring to Veda Pramana. And in that Veda Pramana, it is, when we loosely translate it as theism and atheism, we Google it, Wikipedia, it brings up those who believe in God, those who don't believe in God. But in the Sanatana Dharma, the definition of Astika and Nastika is not belief in God or not belief in God. It is belief in Veda and belief in not Veda. What is Shastra? So this discussion can or is happening after that has been ascertained. So there is the common ground of that Astikatva, which is an assumed thing for this particular conversation to exist.
True.
If that itself has to be evaluated, then Chandrasekhar,
No, Swamiji, no, that is not being evaluated. What everybody is saying, when Kishore is saying Shruti, Yukti, Anubhava, so we see Acharyas saying, right? Shruti, Smrutyor Bhade, Shrutireva Gariyasi, Shrutyoho Parasparam Bhade, Yuktireva Gariyasi. Even that Yukti, even though there is a Bhada between Shruti and Shruti, maybe, even that Acharya has to interpret perfectly as per the Shruti only, right? So that's
in
finally
Sadhana Panchakam, that is why he says Shruti Mataha Tarkonusandhiyatam.
right.
Not convenience Mataha Tarkonusandhiyatam, but Shruti Mataha Tarkonusandhiyatam.
True. Right. Not Dustarka, right.
Dustarka Suviramyatam.
Suviramyatam, right.
It is always Samvada, Swamiji.
No, it is okay to butt heads and still call it Samvada. I'm fine with it. That kind of freedom should be there in a congenial environment of having Jnana Parampara. That should be there. That
True.
is fine.
Yeah.
But the question is, are you having a doubt or are you having a question? There's a huge difference. Doubt is I don't believe in you, what you're saying, what you're referring. Question is I believe in it, but in the logical sequencing of it, there is something which I don't understand, which needs to be clarified. So what is my baseline? Is it from a questions perspective or a doubt perspective? I'll leave it at that. And thank you for having me. And it is good to see all of you. It's
So
been a while.
Hope we'll have Swami.
Hariyo Swamiji. Ramana.
Hariyo Ramana.
Hariyo.
Manchikituna.
Ramana is always in highest state, He is just having fun because he has already woken up. So he is not in even the dream guru for him. The dream guru has woken him up in the dream, and so the Jagrat also is always awakened. Right. Anyway, so what lessons we learn, we'll see, right? From dream, we can take many lessons. One is Asangatvam, we have seen Sharira Vilakshanatvam, right? Kartrutvam, Bhoktrutvam that we are talking about. They are not intrinsically belong to me, but they come and go. So with Avastatraya, we learn how the non-variable factor to own up this non-variable.
Chandrasekhar, if I can pause you for a minute.
Sure.
I have to shift to another Zoom in next 2 minutes.
Okay, Swami.
So I will take leave. So
Hariyo, Swami. Thank you so much.
I can launch that. Thank you.
Hariyo,
Hariyo, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Hariyo.
So, Those are the lessons that I was just talking about. Any more lessons that you have got from this Swapnavastha? Anybody?
I am very
Yep.
relieved. It has no loss, no gain. So I don't get dreams. I am peaceful now. Last time you said that it exhausts vasana. So I was thinking, why I am missing out on that chance? I should start dreaming.
First of all, even
I am so relieved by his clarification by his pramanam.
don't worry, Rajni, all vasanas and all that all for junior students. We are all senior. What vasanas? Vasana itself is mithya. Don't worry.
Chandrasekhar, we are always junior only because our mind will be questioning. It will keep asking. More information explosion, we will go down to basics. Because everything comes from the grassroots level. So no senior, no junior. The thought process keeps coming. The confusions are magnified when we have more information explosion. That's what I think even Manoj is struggling with that. The more he reads,
I think
the
there
more
was,
confused he gets.
Yeah,
never
I
this,
consider that as a thought exercise. So it gives me some happiness also.
Yeah. In the group, there was never senior, junior kind of feeling at all.
Yes,
That is not there at all.
using
If
it like that.
somebody
Yeah.
feels it is their problem, I mean to say, normal thing is that one in the chicks there is no senior, junior or anything like that.
Yeah, it is
Even
only
in
who is
should
less
stop
confusion. more
using that
confusion.
phrase because it stops people from asking questions and that will become a
Got
inhibitor
it.
for people to discuss.
True,
Yeah.
true.
Asking
And-
questions.
I
asking
quickly
questions
say something. I have to go. My wife's not well. My kids are saying, when are you going to feed me? So they'll kill me if I don't give them breakfast.
Oh,
Bye.
we'll end it now. Fine. Huh?
Bye.
We'll end. Somebody do the Shanti part. Oh, tomorrow Aparna is giving that presentation, right? Okay.
What is the presentation and when?
Tomorrow I sent the link, right, to everybody on the
Oh, okay.
Chinmaya group and also other group.
It is about
9 o'clock.
9
All the
o'clock
best,
our time,
Aparna. We'll be there with you.
7:30
Yes.
India time.
oh,
Thank you, Akka.
I didn't prepare any questions this time, so Aparna,
Aparna, all the best.
you just
Thank you. Thank you. Akka.
you just add some questions in between, maybe make it. I didn't have time to prepare any games or questions, so you can do that.
I will try by
Stop in between and ask, maybe raise a question and see, as if
so it is virtual or I mean, is it
Yeah.
someplace in? Okay.
No, it is Zoom only, right? I sent you the link.
It's the same thing.
Okay.
So, Aparna, that's
all of
advantage
us,
that you
please
have.
prepare and come so that we can answer her questions she asks.
That is
Actually, I
advantage that
myself
you are
have to
giving me.
prepare for the questions. I don't know what to ask. That itself is a
Aparna,
big
please don't
question.
ask me. I was not well all these days, please.
She won't specifically ask. She will ask a quiz question, like one question. What is
I
your
have to
topic?
prepare this.
After this class, we can discuss. If you want, I will prepare something for you. Okay, after this
Topic from Atma that we have ended, where Indivar ended, from there I am taking up, Akka.
That's what I wanted to check. Are you doing the Avastatrayam also? Earlier we thought
No, Bhaiya, that will be too much because we haven't finished it. I have to prepare further also. So I stop by Karana Shariram, I'll finish and stop.
Okay, fine. That's fine. That's fine.
That's
So
the
that-
bad place to
that
start.
itself-
Karan's career.
Stula Sukshma Karana.
Don't stop at the Karan's career. Just go a little beyond. You will meet.
Yeah. She will, of course. She'll not stop abruptly. Of course.
Go a little
also,
beyond. You will meet Kishore there.
she will give us the direction how to go beyond the Karna Shariram also. Yeah. Anything? Anybody wants to help Aparna? Maybe you can connect with her
Yes, please.
directly.
Any help from is accepted, and I would be really grateful.
So you didn't
Because
send me
even I
the.
somehow last 10 days I could not get time to actually prepare well. but I'll try to do my best. Because some personal reasons I could not prepare so well, but I have prepared some notes and I've sent it across to Vaya.
Yeah, I
So
wanted to
we
send just a high level outline, like this 5 minutes, this topic, 5 minutes next, so 20,
Okay,
25,
okay.
30 minutes, whatever you're taking, 25 to 30 minutes.
Okay.
That will be easy.
That tonight I'll plan and I'll do it.
Okay.
Yeah, Shekhar, just wanted to say, Swamiji messaged saying that he was very happy with that lively session and discussion. So,
Yeah, he sent it to Signal, right? Yeah, I've seen that. Yeah. Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah, Sarve Santu Niramayaah, Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu, Ma Kaschit Dukkha Bhag Bhavet. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namah. Harihi Om Tat Sat. See you tomorrow, 9 a.m. EST, 7:30 p.m. India time. Send it to anybody who's others. You can forward it. Anybody who's interested to join.
Take care,
Please.
you put it in our other group, no? Some might join.
Which group?
alumni
In
group.
our old chicks group. You put it, some of them may join.
Because I thought